Told you you so extra, but I know I'm the same, yeah. Love me in spite of my trauma. Give me what I need instead of the drama. Cause when it pop off, it's like, oh my. All good all day, but the night we be going so hard on the flip side. So tell me what we on a day, babe. I could keep that same energy. When you go low, I go low too. But you'd rather stay high, I know you. Can we stay high, babe? I'd rather be on that wave, tryna control our emotions. If we on the right side of passion, we could share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could do it all night. We could go all night, all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead, but we could go all night. Now all of my calls go to voicemail. I block you so I don't raise hell. Should've talked through it in detail. Our separate ways ain't gon' end well, no. But when we get back, it's like, oh my. All bad all day, but the nights I get that good, good till we act right. So tell me what we on today, babe. I could keep that same energy. When you go low, I go low too. You'd rather stay high, I know you. Can we stay high, babe? I'd rather be on that wave, tryna control our emotions. If we on the right side of passion, we could share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could do it all night. We could go all night, all night. Do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead. Look, we could go on.
Okay. I've been calm, cool, collected, but you pushing on my nerves, and I'm knowing your attention. I'm under pressure. Okay, I'm admitting that a couple things I said got acidic in the tone, in the presence I get careless. Long as you know I come with imperfections. When you look at me, you see the soul through my flesh. You something special. Know you looking bomb, the way you dressing, gone flex it, hold it still and let my mind digest. You got the leverage, you got the upper handle on the situation. You worthy of a million more of the storms that we weathered. We fight retreating, then fuck, but you trying to kill the cycle. When nobody stressing that body like me, I know the way you like it. I treat you like a queen, run the castle, you a treasure. Feel like you setting fire to my desire for the pleasure. You a gem, got me blameless, make amends, know you can, I'm out here.
Trying to control our emotions. If we on the right side of passion, we can share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could go all night. We could go all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead, but we could go all night.
The Nathan Ivey Show is supported by listeners. Go to www.patreon.com/Nathan Ivey Show and help Nathan keep the show independent.
You get it by now. Tell me what you learned in grade school. Give it to me like you want it. Did you forget that golden rule? Why is our love at one-sided? It should really be give and take. Fill you up and leave me empty. Baby, was that my mistake? Covering these feelings, going through changes. I'm just so mad right now, I can't even think straight. So I'ma just tweet it and delete it, knowing you won't read it. Before we get too far away, I need to clear my mind. I'd rather just tweet it and delete it before we cross the line and we reach a point we can't rewind. Rewind. you. But if we try to talk about it, our history says we'll just argue. And I know you're gonna act a fool, and then no one could tell the difference between me and you, babe. Watching from a distance, hiding these feelings, going through changes. I'm just so mad, but now it's at my own expense.
You're listening to The Nathan Ivey Show. One man, one microphone, one mission. Now let's get back to the flow.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back, and thank you for waiting. Let's get things started. It's the Nathan Ivey Show. Cincinnati's, well, should I say, the last honest place in Cincinnati media. Good morning to you. There it is. The cam is up. I think we are looking good and sounding good. Just give me a thumbs up in the comments if everything is looking and sounding good on your end. This morning, I want to talk about numerous things, not the least of which is the cover story. Black deputy calls out the system before suicide. Have you seen this video? If not, you're going to see it this morning. Keep listening. This deputy committed suicide this week on Monday. But before he did, he left a series of very, very, in some cases, disturbing, and in most cases, very interesting videos chronicling and talking about his experience as a man of color working for law enforcement at this particular time, which has really gone viral. A lot of people talking about it. I want to share some thoughts with you as well this morning. Also, it's the first week of a blended learning for Cincinnati Public Schools. Not everyone is back. You know, the younger grades, preschool through, I think, third grade. And if you're a parent in CPS and your children have gone back to school, I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think about. And I want to know, how was the first week? I want to know, how was the first week in your opinion? Again, 513-873-7134. That is my number. Hold on one second. That is my number. If you want to give us a call this morning, I'm here to receive it. How are you? Hope you did. Hope you've been doing well. We were just together 24 hours ago. And since then, you had the Midday Juice podcast with Ask Ashley. Always the juice. We're now opening that up so you can make phone calls into the show while she's broadcasting if you're interested in that type of thing. I know some of you have been checking it out. I appreciate you. Well, again, when you see any of the shows that we are producing for you, please like and in particular share it. Lift us up so everybody can see what we're doing here at Sin Digital Media. And we're just getting started. Listen, if you're down with the mission of amplifying Black voices, amplifying underrepresented voices, then consider becoming a Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/Nathan Ivey Show and join the community, the rising community, join the mission. Although many people help every single day in their own ways, whether it be sharing the show on Facebook and multiple places. I really appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. And happy Friday. We made it. Another Friday. Another Friday during the pandemic. Who knew that the pandemic was going to take this damn long? Like, raise your hand. All this shit started like a year ago. It was a year ago. My son was sick a year ago, January 2020. That's his birth month. And looking back now, we think he had COVID. It was just undiagnosed. He was super sick. We just couldn't figure it out. And his symptoms were persisting. And we felt like it ran through the house like a year ago. That's just our unofficial thoughts on it. I know a lot of people feel similar to that. But I want to get your thoughts. I mean, here we are a year into the pandemic. Wasn't it March in which the governor of Ohio issued the first stay-at-home order? I believe it was. So here we are catching up to like about a year, like a little bit over a year at this point. And who knew that we'd still be dealing with this into 2021? After the elections, after the inauguration, we still dealing with it. And it's not over with yet. It is not over. Don't let your guard down, family. Don't let your guard down. This is not over, but we will get through this together. All right, 513-873-7134. That is my number. If you like to transform your brain waves into talk radio of this radio waves this morning, or should I say internet talk radio waves. I think that's much better to put it that way, much more appropriate. Good morning to you. Hope you had a great 24 hours. It's a Friday, so typically I open it up, I relax the topics just a little bit, or it really depends actually. I'm open to more than that. There are topics and things that you think are interesting. Drop a link, I'll check it out and deliver some flows. We'll open up for conversation. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about some things that have happened here locally. I want to talk about the body shaming that goes on the internet surrounding one young sister. Her name is Chole Bailey. I mentioned this at the end of yesterday's show, but I want to bring this back up. It seems to me like the internet body shamed her because she had a positive self-image. That's what it sounds like to me. And I'm like, wait a minute, we can't do that. If you missed it yesterday, I talked about an email I got from Raphael Sadiq. allegedly I do have some more information on that story, which is hilarious to me. I may get into it. I am convinced that it was the Raphael Sadiq or somebody close to him that sent me a text message, or really sent an email, and sent more emails than that, quite honestly. I mean, the story is quite hilarious. We might get into it this morning, but what is on your mind? How are you? I want to send you some positive vibes this morning. Hope you're doing well. Please take a second to like and in particular share today's show. It means everything. And let's get started. Let me get straight to the choppers. How are you? Tracy writes, hi. Ashley writes, good morning, Nathan and the choppers. Happy Friday. Ray writes here. I want to give a special shout out to Terrence Shanghai and the fact that he is a new father. And his son was born, I think the name is Roman, I believe it is. And man, fatherhood is a serious thing. And he's now had his first child, his first son. And I want to say props to him. He and I are actually working on a project together, which I've told you all about, a new relationship/dating podcast that you'll hear more about this year. COVID slowed it down a bit because the idea was more than just virtual. But I only say slow down. Nothing stops. The show goes on. The game goes on. So props to him and for becoming a new father, and the mother as well. Hope everything is healthy and happy. I saw the images. I posted it early this week, shared it on the friends who like the Nathan Ivey Show. You can check it out. Black love. It was beautiful. It's beautiful. They try to play it like black men don't take care of their kids and black men don't care about their children. Nothing could be further from the truth. It's an individual thing. It's an individual thing. You can find men of all races who do all kind of things. Okay, but when you talk about black folks, for whatever reason, the generalities become the reality of every individual, and that ain't always fair. In fact, in most cases, it is not fair. That's why we're here, to set the narrative in the space that it really needs to be set in. But again, good morning to you. 513-873-7134. I think I've given the number out like 4 times now. Please, and you know what you can do? You can go ahead and lock me in. Go ahead and lock me into your phone, right? Nathan Ivey Show. Boom. You ever want to call the show? Boom. You've got it. I'll be in your contacts. Put me in your contacts. Good morning to you. Kelly writes, good morning. She is on Facebook. Sean writes, morning, Nate and the Choppers. He is on Facebook. Samantha writes, good morning, all. Good morning to you, Samantha. Where are we? Let me back. Oh, man, it just jumped here. April writes, peace and blessings to all. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. Fame Rothstein is in the house. He writes, make sure y'all comments add to the discussion and are not simply spiteful words like 3 to 5 of you do all the time. Remember, y'all don't deserve me. I've spoken. He's spoken. Ooh, okay. Dale writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Hey, Brittany. Brittany's in the house. She writes, good morning. Uh-oh, I'm loving. What's this? You got the wedding pic up there, sis? What? I'm loving it. Is that black love? I'm loving it. I'm all about it. Fame writes, good morning, brother. Talking to Sean. Jerome writes, good morning, Nate and Choppers. Tiff's in the house. She writes, good morning. Good morning. Dale Ripes, hope you have a good visit from the doc today, Nate. No, it's next Friday. It's on the 12th. So, yeah, on the 12th, folks, I'm planning on doing a show, but I have a doctor's appointment at 9 a.m. I don't know. I have to see how that interacts with the Is It Just Me podcast. And I'm not sure how long it's going to take me because I'm getting some dental work done, and it's not going to be super extensive, but it's going to take me some time. They're doing some moldings and all that kind of stuff inside. That sounds like a couple hours worth of work to me. So hopefully I can do what I got to do and jet back as I've done before. But if not, I'll give you the updates on what that means. But what it means for the Nathan Ivey show is that I plan on next Friday starting the show a little bit earlier. So we start at 7, and we'll probably do like a 7 to like 8:15 type of deal, 8:20, because I need to make sure I have enough time to get to where I need to get to early. I like to be early. Andriel writes, good morning, TGIF. Good morning to you. Gragston, a.k.a. Black Russia, a.k.a. the host of the Invasion podcast, writes, good morning, Alt Middle Friday. Good morning. Tom Brady for the win, Super Bowl Sunday. I'll be honest with you. Oh, that's this Sunday? Oh, shit, I forgot. Really? Damn, I guess it is this Sunday. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we'll have the game on and it'll be in the background just like it was a year ago, the day that I had my cardiac event. Who do I want to win? I don't really have a favorite. I mean, whoever wins, wins. Cool. And I don't know, the commercials never wow me anymore. I'm just a jaded human. That's how it happens. The older you are, the more jaded you become. I'm like, bah humbug with Super Bowl commercials. There was a time when everybody would flock because it was like the cutting edge of advertisement. But in the age of the internet, the internet has way surpassed what they do with Super Bowl. So now, in terms of the commercials, it's like the Super Bowl halftime show. Who's it going to be, The Weeknd? The Weeknd is dope. I'm here for The Weeknd. As long as he doesn't have them damn bandages on his face that he had when he performed for Saturday Night Live. Other than that, it's all good. So, yeah, I don't have a dog in the fight. I mean, if Brady wins, he wins. He loses, he loses. What is the Chiefs? The Chiefs win, they win. They lose, they lose. I don't have any money on it. Don't plan on putting money on it. I'm sure it'll be cool. Ballhead writes, good morning. Michael writes, all thumbs up. What's up with you, Michael? Good to see you, brother. We got to talk. I was just thinking about you yesterday. Anthony writes, morning choppers. Fame writes, brethren, Wolf, Ayatollah, TJR, Graxton, good morning. Might be in the tea around noon. Okay. Okay, that's good to know. Glenn writes, morning, Nate, and the Facebook choppers. Nat writes, good morning, Facebook choppers. See, Otis is in the house. What's up, Otis? He writes, good morning, Nathan and choppers. Hashtag TWE, which I think stands for the Wellborn Experience, which actually, oddly, coincidentally, provides us a great segue to have our first word from our sponsor. It's all about timing, homie. It's all about the timing. All right. So a great way to support the Nathan Ivey Show is to support the people that support the Nathan Ivey Show, including our sponsors. And our sponsor for the show this week is the Wellborn Experience, Team Wellborn. Are you looking for a dream home? Are you looking for a rental property? Are you looking for commercial property? Well, if so, I know someone who can help you. Check this out. We'll be right back.
It's that Wellborn Experience. It's that Wellborn Experience. That Wellborn Experience. 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 It's that Wellborn Experience. Yeah, that Wellborn Experience. Yeah, that Wellborn Experience. Experience. Tell us what you need. That's the question we start with. We specialize selling condos, houses, apartments. Make sure that you're happy with your residence. Keep it real, no filter. Otis, the realtor from the nattiest heaven sent. It's the Wellborn Experience. Ain't nothing like it. Every time he talk to his client, he's so excited just knowing he able to put them in a place to lay their head. Not focusing on his profits, but on the client instead. Right. He keeps it so professional and from his conversation. You can tell he studies before sharing information. Educated, motivated, ain't nobody better. Who's willing to walk you through every step to relieve the pressure? Yeah, and just so you know it's real, you get a special personalized rug once he closes the deal. So go on, call him up so he can get you live. 513-252-1055.
Again, that's 513-252-1055. There's a link in the description of today's show on Facebook and YouTube. Check it out. When you contact Team Wellburn, let them know that you heard about it on the Nathan Ivey Show. I appreciate you in advance. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Alicia writes, happy Friday, Nathan and the Choppers. Mahomes for the win this Sunday. Okay. Ask Ashley's in the house. She writes, good morning. Hey, good to see you, Ashley. Host of Midday Juice. Let me see. Good morning. Good morning. Crystal writes, good morning. Happy Friday, smart and attractive people, and the others too. Oh, smart and attractive people and the others too. That is hilarious. Oh, man. Ashley writes, yep, I was sick as hell. They told me a severe upper respiratory infection. That was COVID, right? You talking about a year ago, Ash? Yep. Yeah, a lot of people ran through our house. Our son was super sick. And when your kids get sick like that, boy, it scares the shit out of you. I'm like, damn, what do I do? You feel powerless, right? I mean, I want my son to be better. But he recovered. Took him a while. He had just like a cough for seemed like over a month. But he eventually got better. You know, kids are resilient, man. They jump back real quick. It's the parents, it's the older folks that be like, out of it. Glenn's in the house. He writes, I got your message, Fame. You are one crazy dude. Good looking out. Okay. Look, talking across the board. That's all good. Queen Maxine is on YouTube. She writes, Grand Risings, everyone. Good to see you. Good to see you. Ashley writes, yes, Terrence Shanghai Marshall. Yeah. Props to him. Beautiful family. Black love. Good to see it. Janine writes, good morning, Nathan and the Choppers. Good to see you, Jenny. Good to see you. Deborah writes, good morning. Good to see you, Deborah. Good to see you. Let me see. Anthony writes, Nate, I've told some of my white friends before that it will be America's downfall by thinking that things that other countries can't happen here. The thinking that America is almighty and untouchable will do us in. How long have we seen images of people walking around in countries with masks on, ravaging diseases, running rampant? Mrs. Love Being Black's in the house. Hey, good to see you, Mrs. Love Being Black. She writes, good morning, fellow beautiful smart choppers. What's up with my educators out there? How y'all doing this week? How my teachers doing out there? How the administrators doing? I mean, for those of you that have had to go back into the classroom with students there. I mean, some teachers were doing their thing from their classrooms anyway. I know one of my son's teachers, she was in the classroom every day. It seemed like it. Okay, which makes sense. Keep it business-like. Nothing wrong with that. Kelly Prather's in the house. She writes, good morning, everyone. Good to see you, Kelly. It's time to make that move. Marcia writes, good morning. Ashley writes, Fame is something else. He is. Dale writes, crowns take a couple of hours, do they? Okay. Charles writes, Grand Risings, Nate and the Choppers. Sean writes, Super Bowl commercials are lame. They are lame compared to what's on the internet. Compared to YouTube, that shit ain't cutting edge no more. That used to be the cutting edge of like advertisement. Now, no. It's kind of boring. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of boring. And the game itself I'm going to be honest with you, the game itself is kind of boring. Like, I'll put it on. The game will be on the whole 9 yards. More than likely, the game will be on. And I'll just be doing what I'm doing, and we'll just listen to it and look at it maybe when they score a touchdown or something like that. But I don't really care. It's not the Bengals. By the way, did anybody see some of those sample Bengal jerseys? The new Bengal jerseys? You see that? Oh, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I've been telling you. Now watch what I'm telling you. And when it happens, make sure you give your boy Nathan Ivey all the credit. I have been telling you for 10 years that until the Bengals radically alter those uniforms, they're not winning a damn thing. The stench of losing is all over that pattern. We need to change it up. I've been telling you about the stripes. We need to change the stripes. Go college with it. The college uniforms are some of the best uniforms out here right now. They're real cool with the metallic colors and the real cool graphics and images on there. That's what the Bengals need to do. I got a chance. I don't know if these are real or not, but I saw like some sample jerseys. Better direction. Much better. I can't describe it to you, but much better. They simplified it and modernized the whole stripe thing, because that stripe thing was so 80s. So 80s. Come on now. And the next thing is we need to change the color. That orange, if we're going to do orange and black, it needs to be like a metallic orange, like something really super fly, right? None of that lame Sam White era orange. Hell no. Get rid of all of that nonsense and start from the ground up. So if they do that, watch they start winning. Watch. I know it's going to be made. People going to be like, what? Nate was right. Watch. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. Lee's in the house. He writes, good morning. Crystal writes, Nathan, are you aware that Trump is forbidding anyone around him to refer to him as former president? They have to call him the 45th president. Sadly, this crazy isn't over yet. Rachel Maddow reported it. Is that correct? This guy, where's Drop at? Where are all these people? I told you. All I can say is I told you. You know, my audience, many of us were already hip that Trump was a threat to everything. Okay, he never deserved to be president. Hillary would have been a much better choice. I don't care what nobody says. Hillary would have been better all the way around on all levels. Okay, this fool is running around talking about you can't call. What delusional? We are so lucky this fool didn't do something even more catastrophic. We got lucky. Here's the thing about Trump, though. If you really want to talk about something of substance in terms of the Trump era. And this is being reported by, let me see, by Mother Jones. How many people are hip to Mother Jones? I got hip to Mother Jones in college because, you know, I had to supplant the education I was paying for by going to the library a lot. And when I did, it just opened up a whole world of just viewpoints via periodicals and magazines and all kind of stuff. Started reading the Village Voice on a more regular basis. I started reading all of these progressive periodicals, and it started to shape my politics. And that's when I got hip to Mother Jones. If you're not hip to Mother Jones, you should be. You should go to their website and check them out. They do great reporting. But anyway, the Republicans all over the country are trying to sabotage the next election. Did you know that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you thought that Trump's claims were over with? No. No. They're trying to steal the next election right now in places like Georgia, in places all over the country. Remember all that rhetoric that was nothing more than lies that Trump and his allies were using? Well, now, in a lot of these state legislatures around the country, especially in states in which Joe Biden won, the Republican majorities, they're introducing all these bills that would make it far more difficult to vote. And in some cases, they are sponsoring legislation that would do exactly what Trump was trying to do. Basically, deny the will of the people so that whatever political party is in charge, they can just decide and assign who they want to win. See, this is what the Republican Party does when they lose. They don't go back to the drawing board and say, you know what? We should come up with better policies for the people. What they do is what, well, racists have done from the beginning of time. They say, oh, black folks voting? Oh, okay. Well, let's make it more difficult for black folks to vote. Because y'all ran out here and elected a Democrat, and we're mad about it. Yeah. You heard about this? I'll post a link for you. You can check it out for yourself. It is well worth your time. It is well worth your time to look at how the Republican Party is trying to sabotage black voting rights in particular. Matter of fact, let me share this link for you right here. I was just reading it yesterday. I thought, you know, we got to talk about this. And Crystal jogged my memory. Thank you so much, Crystal. Yeah, check it out right there. That's from Mother Jones. You should be checking out Mother Jones on a regular basis if you're not already. Again, they do great work. And there's a whole bunch of different articles. This particular article was written by somebody named Pima Levy. But that's just one of many articles that are being written about what's going on right now. Let me give you some of the details. You won't believe it. You won't believe. These Republicans have lost their minds down in Georgia, man. They are pissed at you in Georgia because you had the nerve to go out and vote for somebody that they didn't want you to vote for. So Again, rather than come up with policies that will connect with black voters, rather than come up with policies that will connect with the working class, they're going to do what white supremacists have always done when black people vote. We're going to try to steal your vote from you, try to take away your voting rights in a legal sense. And in some cases, it's going to work because Republicans have majorities in their state legislatures, just like here in the state of Ohio. So let's keep our eyes open and see what happens here. Now, the thing about Ohio is that Ohio is now firmly a red state. For 2 election cycles consecutively, by an 8-point lead, a Republican or the Republican candidate has won. So, we ain't purple no more. We are solidly red, in my opinion. So maybe the Republican majority in the state legislature of Ohio won't feel the need to do this, but let's keep our eyes open and see if it touches us here in the state of Ohio as well, because I wouldn't be surprised if it does. I would not be surprised. Where are all the black voices for Trump? Where are all these black Republicans that was out here trying to tell us that there's no difference between Democrats and Republicans? And right now, across the country in 23 states, you got Republican majority legislators that are introducing these bills that will, in a legal kind of way, make it very, very more difficult for particular black voters to vote. Where they at? Where's Drop at on this? Tell me something. Where's Obama? Where's the humanity? Where's the justice? Where they at? The article that you really want to start with is an article from Mother Jones that was written by a reporter named Ari Berman. Let me post this link for you so you can check it out. Again, family, it's worth your time. It's going to blow you away when you read this. It's going to blow you away. I just posted a link in there. You can check it out for yourself. After Trump failed to overturn the 2020 election, Republicans are trying to steal the next one. Matter of fact, let me see if I can do a screenshot real quick and you can check it out for yourself. Yeah. That might even be better, actually. Give you some visuals. There it is. I do not lie. There's the headline, Mother Jones. After Trump failed to overturn the 2020 elections, Republicans are trying to steal the next one. I want to make this point because a lot of people think that the two parties are the same. They are not the same. They have never been the same and may never be the same. Now, are there some similarities? Of course there are. Have either of the two major parties delivered for black voters? Of course they have not. But to say that they are the same is intellectually dishonest because one of the parties spends a lot of time around the country trying to steal black votes, trying to make it more difficult for black people to vote. That's one of the parties. And that would be the Republican Party. Period. I ain't trying to put on a partisan hat because, as I just told you, neither one of the parties have delivered for black folks. But let's keep it real here about what's going on. So as a response to Trump losing, Republican state legislatures in Georgia and around the country now are introducing what's being called an avalanche of new laws that would radically limit voting options across the country. In Georgia, for instance, and they did this in this month, on Monday of this week, the first day of Black History Month, Republicans in the state Senate in Georgia introduced 9 bills that will restrict access to the ballot, including eliminating automatic voter registration, no excuse absentee voting, mail drop voting boxes, as well as prohibiting third-party groups from sending mail ballot applications and banning people who moved to Georgia after the general election from voting in runoff elections. That's the Republican Party that's doing that. It's not the Democrat Party. It's not the Independent Party. It's the Republican Party that's trying to systematically steal the next election because they're pissed off that there's 2 Democrat senators in Georgia. They are pissed off about Warnock and Ossoff. So what do? They don't go back to the drawing board and say, you know what? Why are we missing the pulse of the people? What do the people need? No. They're going to try to use their majority to try to steal the next election. I'm just telling you. And we're just talking about Georgia. This is happening all over the country simultaneously. All over the country. See, this is what the Republican Party is doing as it relates to black voters. I want to make this clear. I want to make this very clear because a lot of black folks is lost in the sauce and they playing these games with themselves. Oh, it's all the same and vote don't matter. If your vote didn't matter, these Republicans would not be trying to steal your vote. They wouldn't be trying to restrict access to the votes. They certainly matter. These Republicans down in Georgia are pissed off at Stacey Abrams. They can't stand sis. You got the nerve to get down here organizing people to vote, and it worked? How dare you? She's probably public enemy #1 down there in Republican circles. They can't stand sis right now, and I love her for it. Keep doing what you do, sis. Keep doing what you do. So people and black people need to wake the fuck up this morning and realize who are your real allies, who are your real enemies, and what's really going on. Not what you think is going on, not what somebody told you, but what's really going on. So what's really going on right now is in at least 23 states, and I think it's really 28, but let me double check on that. But in at least 23 states in this union, or as I'm speaking right now, there is a coordinated attempt and attack by one party to steal your cousins and them's vote, to steal your mama's vote. Because they're pissed off because you went out and voted in the last election and Trump, the rump, lost. He was a rump for 4 years, man. He was a straight rump. You know what I'm saying? An arse. He was a Trump the rump. But they're so mad about it. I mean, I'm not making this up. Progressive media is saying that this is the most coordinated attempt to roll back voting rights since the passage of the Voting Rights Act in 1965. Just telling you. Wake up. See what's happening. They serious about it. They serious. It's like, yeah, we can come up with policies that might attract you, or we can just make it as difficult as hell for your mom and them, your cousin and them down in Atlanta, down in Georgia, to vote. Yeah, I think we'll go with the second one. Yeah, let's do that. The voting methods under attack were used by millions of voters. 1.3 million people voted by mail in the 2020 general election. Now, Republicans have been voting by mail for years. You got even Republican elected officials that voted by mail. Trump and his family voted by mail. But when the people, and in particular black people, start voting by mail, all of a sudden it's corrupt. All of a sudden we got to close the loophole. All of a sudden it's illegal, right? So why am I making this point? I want to make this point that, and I told you this ain't over. This is just the beginning. The Trump pansies, these folks out there that are going to believe in these conspiracy theories in which there's no evidence whatsoever, they're going to use this to try to put in real life laws in states across the country. Let's keep our eyes open here in Ohio. But that's about all we can really do, because in Ohio, there is a Republican majority in the legislature as well. So it is what it is. We are where we are. This is from Fair Fight on their on their Twitter account. They posted this back on February 1st, which I believe was Monday. Today, Georgia Senate Republicans dropped nine anti-voting bills. This unhinged set of voter suppression legislation from a radical Senate Republican leadership appears intended to appease conspiracy theorists like those who stormed the Capitol last month. See, those folks stormed the Capitol, and then they're going back to their home states to try to move policy in the direction that will benefit them in the near future. What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? That's what they're doing. They're out here trying to move the policy in a direction that will benefit them in the near future. A recent study by the Brennan Center for Justice found that 106 bills have already been introduced in 28 states to restrict access to the ballot, 3 times the number at the same point this year. The proposals primarily seek to limit mail voting access when we should be expanding voter access through the mail. 2, impose stricter voter ID requirements because studies suggest who does that impact? Who does that impact? You already know. 3, limit successful pro-voter registration policies. 4, enable more aggressive voter roll purges. Republicans love to purge people from the voter rolls. Why? Because they've already done the numbers behind it and they realize who they're impacting. They're not impacting the people that they think will vote for them. Just saying. To me, the way I read it, this is an unmistakable response to the fact that Trump lost, the fact that Trump lost in Georgia, and also some of these conspiracy theories that something happened during the election. You had even Trump appointed judges, not Trump lawyers, but Trump appointed judges that when these cases, these so-called election fraud or whatever cases the Trump team was trying to put out there would come before their court, they would throw it out. Like, this is nonsense. Yeah, I know you appointed me. Thanks for that, President Trump, but this is dumb shit. I can't go for this. Like, this is why you put me in office? Yeah. So get ready, folks. Get ready. Get ready. I mean, this is not over. There's going to be a lot more that comes from this. And the difference between that side and the other side is that people are organized. People are organized. And that's what we saw here in the city of Cincinnati. The people aren't organized enough. Like, parents who are concerned about health, they're only getting organized right now. You know, they got these parent groups and emails are going out and plans are afoot because people are upset, with the school board's decision, which you know how I feel about. I already told you. But I think that what needs to happen now is keep that same energy. Keep that same energy in a month. Keep that same energy in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. If you feel that way. If you feel that way, you feel like the board didn't really represent you, then keep that same energy and create the kind of grassroots organizations that will have the kind of influence that will give you influence. Everybody's talking about the Hyde Parkers. Well, obviously they did something right. Whether it was coordinated emails or Zoom calls, I mean, they was doing something. If that's who influenced the school board to make the decision that they made and you're upset about it, then what's stopping you from creating something that will influence the school board in another direction if something happens in the near future? Same thing with city council. I read this week that Jan Michelle McCurney, who is a black female Democrat, she was appointed by P.G. Sittenfeld. And I got to make this point about Democrats and Republicans. The Republicans, when they had an opportunity to appoint people to city council, there's no black people that are Republican who are qualified in all of Cincinnati. In all of Cincinnati, because the Republican Party had 3 shots at it, there's no people of color whatsoever who they think are qualified to have been appointed to city council. I think that needs to be underscored, including replacing Jeff Pastor. I told you quite honestly, I thought and still believe the brother should have been replaced by a person of color so that we keep that racial parity. I think, black leadership matters. I'm saying it matters, but not to your local Republican Party. On the other hand, who did the Democrats replace with Tamaya Denard? They replaced her with another sister. I'm just saying. It can be small, it can be big, but if I don't point these things out, then nobody else will. Nobody else will. I have to tell you, that's what I see. Just keeping it funky. It was a Republican judge. They decided that the CFT they had no merit to their case. I'm just saying. Now, I don't know how much of the politics played in the decision. I'm not here to tell you all of that. I'm just speaking the facts. You do with the facts what you want to do with the facts. But so it was this week that Jan Michelle McCurney introduced this motion that said essentially that in any future, big time development deals where developers are asking for any kind of taxpayer TIF or anything from the city, then they have to make sure that they have an affordable housing plan. And it begs the question, why wasn't this motion put in a year ago, 2 years ago, or was it? You know what I'm saying? It's like I hear people talking about gentrification, and outside of a small few, when these projects come out, nobody really says anything about it. I mean, shout out to Michelle Dillingham. I mean, she and the people around her seem to be on top of this and try to raise awareness about it. But other than that, I don't really hear anything about it, which becomes a fucking problem because in too many areas in Cincinnati, the will of the people is not organized enough. And so it's always reactive. You got to react. When are we going to get proactive? I'm speaking generally because there's some folks out there we already know that's on top of it 100% all the time. But I'm talking about as it relates to your school board, as it relates to this issue of gentrification specifically, because those are the things that came up this past week. So you tell me what you think. 513-873-7134. Charles writes, racial parity, question mark. The Republicans don't care about parity. They stack it every time if they could. Yeah, they would. But I want to make that point because if not, Charles, you already know people are going to gloss over it. I want to make that point as to when the two parties had an opportunity to make appointments, who did what? I think that says something about and reflects them. It says something about them, in my humble opinion. I mean, you might think differently. Deborah Nesbitt writes, they keep us in survival mode so we can only react. And see, that's why the economics is so important. Because when working class people got the economics, when black people have the economics, then we can build our own communities. There's a long history of doing that. We can build our own infrastructure. But you're right. You know what I'm saying? If you're worrying about your day to day, every day, then you ain't really got time to be out here doing anything else. I get you. 100%. Let me see here. Good morning, everybody. Let me go back. I like this. 0 F's given. I love that. Black folks in Mississippi have that defeated attitude. They have been that way for decades. The white folks in that state got them black folks under control. It's mental slavery down there. Is that right? Good morning to you. Ronald Lackey's in the house. What's up, Ronald? He writes, I'm late. Have we spoken about how our CCC, Corrupt City Council, allowed a building owner in OTR to refrain from providing affordable housing in exchange for $50,000 toward the streetcar? We're talking about it right now. $50,000 toward the streetcar every year, I think, right? Isn't it? It's not just a one-time payment. It's every year. You had Chris Silbach was the only Democrat to vote for it, along with all of the Republicans and Christopher Smitherman. All of the people that voted against it were Democrat, including Greg Landsman, who came on this show and said that he had reservations. And I'm happy to see that he was consistent. He stayed true to what he told us. It didn't just change. Even though in that conversation, he said he was open to hear more about it. And I don't know, that's a tough one. It's a tough one because we know how the game goes, right? So what happens is like, David Mann said, oh, it's blighted. It's just a vacant lot. It's ugly. We need some kind of development. But that's the reason why they let these lots run down so they can go back and say things like, oh, it's blighted and it's vacant. What I would say is either city council is committed to the idea that we need affordable housing options in every single neighborhood, including over the Rhine, or they're not. Simple as that. Either they are or they're not. Is this a good deal? To be honest with you, I don't have enough information in terms of the numbers to really say as to whether I think it's a good deal. I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot that was given to him. And I wonder because I watched some of the public conversation about it on city cable, and it kept coming up that the development can't go through. It's not worth it. Like the developers are not going to make money off of it. And so it makes me wonder, like, are we talking about making money is the difference between making no money and making some money, or making a little money and making a lot of money. Because on the outside looking in, it seems like some of these developments are getting sweetheart deals. Sweetheart deals. The rent is going to range from $1,400 to what is like a little under $3,000, something like that. I don't know what you're going to get for $1,400. It could be like an efficiency or like a 1-bedroom with 900 square feet. That's not really made for a family, right? 900 square feet, 800 square feet, $1,400 a month. And you got HOH fees. That's not really built for like a working class family. But there's some single folks out there with no children or some young couples that jump straight in that. So, maybe that's a difficult conversation. At least that's what they'll say. Maybe. Lee writes, meanwhile, AOC is wasting airtime crying about having to hide in her office. Damn, you ain't got no sympathy for AOC? She was afraid for her life, Lee. Damn, you tough, bro. Yeah, I saw the videos. I mean, she's telling her story. Basically, she was like from a movie. She said she could hear people saying she was hiding in one of the rooms, and she like behind the door, right? And she could hear people saying, "Where is she at? Where is she at?" Had they found her, they probably would have physically assaulted her, if not killed her. I have no doubt about that. And now what we're finding out is that whole Capitol assault thing wasn't it wasn't a spontaneous event. It was coordinated. I still say that if that was like black folks, man, listen, the conversation would be all different. Even from the Democrats, who are like the toughest voices right now, even their voices would be much different. I'm just saying. Daryl writes, we progress always white backlash. We progress always white backlash. See Reconstruction. See the Red Summer. See civil rights. See Obama. Right. Speak on it. Angela writes, the only places they were saying was voter fraud was in the black communities. Trump himself said, how did Biden get more black votes than Obama? Because we wanted his ass out. That's why, fool, right. It's racist. So Trump is like, you telling me black people voted for a white guy at a higher number than a black guy? Like his thinking about black people is so elementary. So that's why Trump couldn't believe it. He's like, wait a minute, black people came out to vote for him in record numbers? Even more so than Obama? Obama's a black guy. They're going to vote for their own. And as Angela said, I think he underestimated just how seriously people wanted him out of office. He only has himself to blame for it. Had he done a better job with COVID, he'd be the next president. He'd be the president right now, which is very scary to say, quite honestly. Very scary. Very, very scary. But it is what it is. TNT writes, I hope the people see and remember they have power. The fight for change is relentless, and the opposition will not stop. No, they will not stop, TNT. You already know. Let me see. What are we talking about? We're talking about an article from Mother Jones, and I'm putting this on your radar screen. I posted a link. It's titled, After Trump Failed to Overturn the 2020 Election, Republicans Are Trying to Steal the Next One. And in 28 states around the country, Republicans in their state legislators have introduced an avalanche of bills that some are saying amount to nothing more than legal attempts to restrict voter access to voting, whether it be mail-in voting, whether it be no excuse absentee voting. Like, Republicans are upset when interest groups send ballots to people. They're upset about all of that. And that's because, and again, it's a sad thing about the Republican Party. Republican Party only cares about winning. They don't really care about policies for the people. It's all about special interests, donors, wealthy people, their own. It's all about that. It's not about what's real. And that's why many Republican elected officials jumped on the conspiracy theories, because they're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to roll with the Trump base. This will benefit me. It's a damn shame. Let me see. Republican state legislators in Arizona, which Biden carried by 10,000 votes, have introduced at least 34 bills to reduce voter access. In a state where 80% of voters cast ballots by mail. So in a state where 80% of the voters cast ballots by mail, and that's their history, now the Republicans want to restrict that in Arizona because their guy lost. Other proposals would dramatically shrink the number of polling locations. Let me see. In Maricopa County, which is the largest county in the state of Arizona, get this. If one of the proposals go past or is passed, that means that in Maricopa County, the largest county in the state of Arizona, they'll only have 15 voter centers instead of the 100 that they had in November. So Republicans in Arizona and Maricopa County are so in their feelings about Trump losing Arizona and Biden winning Arizona by 10,000 votes that they want to restrict the number of voting centers in Maricopa County from 100 to 15. I'm telling you, it's what they do. The most extreme bill would allow the GOP-controlled legislature to override the Secretary of State's certification of election results and appoint its own electors to nullify the popular vote of choice if they don't like it. This is what they're doing in Arizona. So in Arizona, the Republican-controlled legislature have sponsored a bill that will allow them to overturn the will of the people if they don't like the election results because Trump lost. In Pennsylvania, another state where Republicans spread a whole bunch of baseless claims of voter fraud, they were trying to overturn Biden's victory. Legislative Republicans have introduced 14 bills to make it harder to vote. Whatever it takes. Like I'm telling you, they're not saying, hey, you know what? Let's go back to the drawing board and really think about our policies and see if there's a way that we can, I don't know, have a better connection and really meet the people where they are. They don't want to do that. They rather just legally steal your vote. Make it as difficult as possible statistically. Try to restrict make it as difficult as possible, especially where you've got these centers where black people voted. They want to restrict your ability to vote, your access to the vote, make it as difficult as possible so that you don't vote and they can win. That's it. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
What's going on, Nate? How you doing, man?
Yo, Brother Glenn, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me? I can hear you, Nate.
I'm not really. You might be talking, Glenn. I'm not really sure, but I can't really hear you. I think it's more on my end than your end. So call me back, brother. Let me take a little break here at the 9 a.m. mark, and then see if I can't fix that, and I'll bring you straight on. Appreciate you. I can't hear you. I think you're being heard, but I can't hear you. And if I can't hear you, then we can't have a conversation because I can't respond to you. See here. Let me catch up. Catch up. What's up, Natasha? She writes, thank you. Good morning. Where we at here? Ronald writes, when people ask why I'm running for the U.S. Senate and not running locally or at the state level, this is why. The city is too corrupt with money. The state is too gerrymandered, and I don't have interest in participating. Okay, Ronald, you running for the Senate in Ohio? All right, let's catch up, brother. Let's catch up, man. I want to hear your platform. I want to hear the platform. The hush money. Wow. What's up, Jay? Nat Rice development projects are all about the negotiating. And it seems to me that our council has no negotiating skills, or maybe they're getting paid on the side. Is it council that negotiates? Natasha writes, absolutely coordinated. Right. What's up, Natasha Santana? I like that name. TNT writes, these fools wanted to kill AOC, and if they found her, they would have hurt her seriously. She was rightfully scared. Yeah. Had she been found, They would have physically assaulted her, if not killed her. No doubt about it. So she got every right. She had a life and death situation going on. And I think we should tell that story. That story should be told over and over again so people don't try to lessen what really happened. Already people are out there trying to soften the blow and make it seem like it was no big deal. Oh, no, it was serious. Brian writes, I'm giving a video talk on Reconstruction tonight. I just saw that. I know it's going to be dope, brother. Crystal writes, Nathan, Deputy Clyde Kerr committed suicide to start a conversation about systematic racism and police brutality against blacks. Do you think his protest will have an impact? Which leads me to today's cover story. Let me get to that. I want to talk about this morning. Are you aware of what happened to this brother? Are you aware? Have you seen any of this video? If not, I want to play. There's multiple videos that he posted. I just want to play a little bit of one of the videos for you. And I'm going to try to do a screen grab from Instagram. This is from Sean King's Instagram. I know he's everybody's favorite black activist, and people criticize him. I don't really get it myself. I don't really understand it. I mean, you know, if the brother's out here trying to do good work, he's trying to do good work. I don't care what his color is. So what? It makes no difference to me. You know, black, white, whatever. It is what it is. All right. So let me give you the backstory on this real quick. So the man you're looking at, Clyde Kerr, is no longer with us. Unfortunately, this black man who was a police officer from Louisville killed himself this past week after sharing a series of videos in which he said essentially that enough is enough. And he was tired of serving a system that, quote unquote, does not give a damn about him or other African Americans. Okay, that's his words, not mine. And it's very, very emotional. I have not seen every video, but I'm like, damn, what was going on? So Clyde Kerr III, 43, a Lafayette Parish Sheriff deputy, died by suicide on Monday after speaking extensively about the quote unquote demonic criminal justice system and the killings of black men, including George Floyd. Quote, I can't abide by this no more. I'm not having anything to do with this nonsense no more. If this feels right to you, then there is something wrong with you. This is the furthest thing from right. You have no idea how hard it is to put a uniform on in this day and age with everything that's going on. So, I mean, there's two things about this. I mean, number one is the commentary from this man. And then secondly, it's the fact that this man obviously must have been in pain, right? I mean, obviously he was dealing with some issues, right? If you want to say mental health or depression or whatever, that would lead to him to commit suicide. Like, if you feel that way about the force, brother, just leave the force. So I think there's two things going on. Like, one, it appears to me that he has some issues that he was dealing with personally that led to his suicide. And then two, you know, what he said in his series of videos about the circumstances that he was working in. I want to play just a little bit of it, and I wanted you to tell me what you think. Check this out.
Of all of this nonsense of serving a system that does not give a damn about me or people like me, or just about life in general. And this is my statement. If this isn't something to state that this killing that's going on, especially by the police, which I am, I can't abide by this no more. I'm not. Call me what you want, try to discredit me. I have been a stellar deputy in this 5+ years that I've been there. My last eval's been sent, it's copied to somebody. I can't be discredited. Never so much as one write-up for maybe some reports being late. None whatsoever. So it can't be said that I was a shammer or anything like that, or I wasn't pulling my weight. And just for contextual purposes, I just want y'all to understand where and what I'm coming from. It's my entire life has been in service of other people, and it's just dawned on me that this time, as of now, needs to be seized because you don't really give a damn about us. That is the truth. That is the truth. I've served with a full heart in the military. After that, got back into law enforcement, and you have no idea how hard it is to put a uniform on in this day and age with everything that's going on. None. And listen, y'all entrust me to safeguard your little ones, your small ones, the thing that's most precious to y'all, and I did that well. Y'all trusted me with that. I've had security clearance in the military. That's verifiable. If I was untrustworthy, if I was a threat, would they let me guard the U.S. Embassy in Kabul? Which I did. I trained Iraqi police, Afghan national police, and that's not it. But I wouldn't have been put in a position of that if they thought I was a threat. But that has allowed me to see the inner working of things. And this is a demonic system, and it's not anything I can continue to serve and want to be a part of. And this is not right. This is no form of justice. Let's go down the list. Botham shot in his own apartment. How that work? How does that work? Chilling on his couch. I don't give a damn if he had weed in the apartment. You're going to execute somebody for that? Oh no, y'all are good for that. You break up families for a plant, this war on drugs and this nonsense. But now it's starting to get legal because big pharmaceutical companies stand to make billions off of it, and they paid off the lobbyists, who in turn have started ushering the way it needs to go for them. The countless people who are doing time behind that. How do you even make amends for that? You can't. You can't. This Floyd.
I just know that's a tough situation right there. Oh, thank you so much. You know me, I keep making that mistake. I just know that's a tough situation right there that, you find yourself as a police officer. And I just wonder, damn, are we doing enough for these officers to make sure that they're mentally healthy? Two of the officers that were stationed at the Capitol and were a part of the Capitol siege, they committed suicide. Now, was it a direct result of that? I don't know. We don't know, but I mean, the circumstances are what they are. And damn, I feel for the brother. He made a lot of sense about the war on drugs. The war on drugs, and everybody knows it at this point, was really a war on black communities. It was a rationale to lock up a lot of black and brown men. That's it. It was a rationale to, take property. We talk about the war on drugs in terms of incarceration, but we never talk about that financial money. Like if you took all that money, court costs, fines, fees, the loss of property, what is that number in terms of accumulated wealth? Like, we never talk about the war on drugs and what it cost us in terms of dollars and equity and wealth. We talk about it in terms of breaking up communities and families because people were incarcerated. But if you added up like all of that lost money that could have been made, right? The court costs, the seizure of property, automobiles, police raids, and then people, it would have to be in the trillions of dollars. The war on drug was another way to push black families down. That's what happened. He's right about that. He was right to call out the pharmaceutical companies because now marijuana is cool. The pharmaceutical companies have found out a way to make investments into legal marijuana. It's like, well, it's all cool. But again, I mean, for years and years and years, and man, I think this is kind of changing now, but the Partnership for a Drug-Free America never wanted a drug-free America. They wanted an America that was free from competition for the drugs they were selling you over the counter. That's what it was. It was a partnership for a drug-free America from our competitors, right? That's what it really was. Because Americans have been legally drugged up for years and years and years. You're doped up on the latest. Housewives doped up. Everybody's doped up these days. It's the truth. The legal drugging of America. And now marijuana is becoming fashionable. People can make money off of it. You got CBD oil, which of course doesn't have the euphoric after effects or side effect. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. It'll be legal one day in Ohio. But the powers that be are just trying to figure out a way to make sure that their friends and themselves can get a big cut of it. When they figure out a way to do that, and they probably already have, they'll come back around to the voters and ask us to legalize it again. And guess what? They will. But they won't legalize it until they have a plan for a lot of their friends and family members to get rich off of it. To me, everybody's talking about reparations. Man, what they need to do is to figure out a way. See, the marijuana, the legal marijuana market, that's our reparations right there. That's you want some reparations, to make sure that the same people that were the victims of the war on drugs now get the benefit from the legalization of those same drugs. And that would be marijuana. I'm just telling you. Like, how many brothers and sisters, how many people in general have been harassed because they were smoking a joint in the car and the officer smelled some marijuana? You got time to stop people for smelling marijuana? Yeah. What is that accumulated cost, right? In terms of lost wages because you were incarcerated, or losing your job because you had to go to court, or losing your automobile because it was repossessed or it was damaged, or losing your property because there was a police raid, or the tremendous amount of fines and fees and court costs and program costs. Again, you're talking about trillions of dollars. So for me, it's real simple. And by they, I'm talking about the government, took trillions of dollars from our communities during the war on drugs. And they, meaning the politicians, should make sure we put that money back in terms of future investments. Now that everybody thinks that legalizing marijuana is a great thing to do. I always thought it was a great thing to do. This ain't no new posture. 25 years ago, I'm like, why are you getting so upset about some marijuana? Who cares? It's not a big deal. What you need to do is crack down on these dog heads. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. But no. So I think the brother was spot on. Spot on. Spot on. Remember, we talked to the sister that wrote a book in Columbus, right? She's a Columbus police officer right now, and she wrote a book talking about the racism and the bias in the Columbus police force, and she's still on the Columbus police force. You talk about stones. Sis got stones. She on the force right now. I'm going to circle back around and bring her back on. I've got a chance to finish her book, and so I think I can give even more comprehensive interview, but I want to bring her on as quickly as possible. Sis deserves high praise. So, black officers, black cop, black cop, black cop, black cop, where you at? There's a lot of officers that feel conflicted. But I stand by what I say. We need good, smart, intelligent people. We need good, smart, intelligent black people and brown people to become members of law enforcement so they can be a positive force from within the force. There's only so much you can do from the outside looking in. Somebody's got to be on the inside being positive, being truthful, being virtuous from the inside. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. But what do you think about what the brother had to say? I thought he was spot on. R.I.P. to the man. I mean, suicide, oh, man. Whew. As a Virgo, I love me, as most Virgos do. Most Virgos are completely caught up with themselves, as we should be. I love me some me. And I love every part about me, all the good parts and the bad parts. I 100% accept the man you're looking at and know who I am. And either you take it or you leave it. It is what it is. As are most Virgos. That's why I love me some Virgos. Anyway, it's called Virgo love. Virgo love is different than everybody else's love. I'm just telling you. But And so because of it, the thought of leaving this world early, it's just, I can't fathom it. So I can only assume that to get to that level of pain or depression or whatever, where you feel like you realistically want to take yourself out, it's got to be a lot of pain. It's got to be a lot of pain. It's got to be a lot of pain. And I wonder if that man was dealing with some drug issues as well. Because sometimes when you're drinking, especially if you're doing drugs, so I say, especially if you're doing alcohol, man, that alcohol, boy, woo-hoo-hoo. Alcohol will have you circling the drain even faster, yo. That alcohol will have you circle the drain super quick. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about this brother right here. His name is Deputy Clyde Kerr III. He committed suicide on Monday after posting a series of videos in which he called out the quote-unquote demonic racist system and even questioned his comrades in the profession of law enforcement. He talked about he talked about Breonna Taylor, talked about Botham Jean, who we've forgotten. I mean, don't forget this brother was sitting in his room. He was sitting in his home, smoking weed and eating ice cream. Now, God damn it, if you don't have a right to smoke weed and drink and eat ice cream in your own home, then I don't know what's more American than that. There is nothing more American than to have the right to do your drugs, hopefully legal, because alcohol is a drug, and eat your comfort food in your house in front of your television set on your couch. There is nothing more American than that. Damn it, if we don't have the right to destroy our bodies and consume the type of entertainment at the same time that we would like to, then we don't have any rights. And that's all that Botham Jean was doing. He was just chilling on the couch, eating some ice cream. That's a weird kind of combination, but everybody's different. You know, marijuana, like a blunt and some cookies and cream ice cream would not be my first go-to combination, but everybody's different. Everyone's different. But damn it, if you should have the right, where it's legal, to smoke your blunt and eat your caramel, whatever ice cream, your chocolate ice cream, Neapolitan. Let's say he's eating some Neapolitan. You eat your Neapolitan and watch your television shows as long as you want to in this country. And what happened? We know what happened. Some dumb ish happened. So RIP to that brother, man. And then what I would say to anybody out there, life is precious. Seek some help. You feel like you circling that drain, and we know when we circle in the drain, please reach out. Reach out. You know, you can send me a direct message. I am no psychologist, but I definitely will give you some positivity. You can believe that. You can believe that. Crystal writes, he had 2 sons. That's where I struggled with his protest. He said only life matters. So this brother had 2 sons. That's why I say he must have been in pain, Crystal, because this life is so precious. It's so sweet to be alive. I've got the windows drawn right now, but I just love to look outside and look at the world. I just love every part of it. Every part of it. And to give that up, and you got 2 babies in this world, 2 sons, no matter what their age is. I mean, no matter how old your children get, they're always going to be your baby, right? I don't know. I just feel like the brother must have been in a lot of pain, a whole lot of pain. But you're asking me, will it make a difference? In the grand scheme of things, no, it will not. You know, his protest, committing suicide, will not make a difference in the grass, in the long term of things. It will not. There'll be people like me that talk about it. You probably, you know, in black media primarily. There'll be people on YouTube that'll talk about it, and then it'll be forgotten. That's what's going to happen. I know that sounds real cynical. This brother made an ultimate sacrifice, but I think he was dealing with some pain. I mean, did he really commit suicide to protest the death of George Floyd? Nah, I mean, that wouldn't make any damn sense. One has nothing to do with the other. I mean, George Floyd happened, in Minneapolis? Minnesota, I think it was. Am I wrong about this? Set me straight. He's down in Louisiana? No. I think some people will be touched by it, and that should be good enough, I guess. But in terms of it having some long-term effect, it will not. It will not have a long-term effect. I mean, sad to say, I think that had he stayed in a position and just been that positive change agent from within, that would have more of an impact than what he's done. Because that's just the way the world works. The internet is like quick. You know, we in it right now. We talking about right now, but tomorrow something will happen. We'll be totally talking about what's happening tomorrow. And this will be forgotten. It's just like the brother who killed some police officers and then took the police on a high-speed chase. Remember that guy? And apparently he had a problem with police. There was some kind of corruption going on. Nobody even remembers. Because in the world of the internet and the media, is always another story. So that's what I think. Yo, right, Sagittarius love, Nate, is the best love. Just saying. Yo, I respect all the other astrological signs, but I'm here to tell you that there is no love like the love of a Virgo. Virgos are unique in that spectrum. I'm not trying to ish on anybody else. I ain't trying to ish on nobody else. But there is something uniquely different about Virgos. I'm not telling you that I figured it all the way out. As a Virgo, I feel it. I feel it. I know this. I connect with Virgos, typically speaking. Virgos can swing on any spectrum. They can do tremendous positive things, or they can lead to the apocalypse. It's either or. You never know with a Virgo. It's either all the way here or it's all the way there. You hope the best. You hope that the angels on the left shoulder are, going to make an impact. But if them devils take over, whoo, Lord have mercy, as they say. You don't want to deal with that. You do not want to deal with that. Crystal writes, thanks, Nate. Really want to hear your take. TNT writes, because mass incarceration become an economic burden on states, the answer they have is to reduce the prison population, is to invest in GPS so more can go home, can be on home confinement. So we still have outrageous sentence, still not free. They will just keep people in prisons in their homes. We have to get ahead of this because for them, it's all about how to make money off of our bodies and deny freedom. Well said. Interesting flows. Something to consider. Pardon me, something to consider. 513-873-7134. For those that are watching, I'm doing the money watch. I'm watching the bag. I'm talking about the stimulus package bag. If I had to speculate as to when you can reasonably receive a check, it'll probably be sometime in March. I would say mid to late March is before you receive any checks. From what I'm reading, it looks like the checks are going to be $1,400, and there's still some gray area as to what the eligibility level is going to be. I know the Biden administration and the Democrats are still open to that, but the Senate approved a budget bill as Kamala Harris cast a tiebreaker vote. So President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief plan, it passed without any support from Republicans. So I think the Democrats are doing the right thing here. I think they should reach out and try to be bipartisan and make sure you let everybody in the media know we trying. But at the end of the day, damn it, you got to do what you think is the right thing to do. You got to go big or go home. All these medium things, we should have learned from Obama. You got to go big. You got to go fast. You got to leave an impact, and you got to be fearless, and you can't give a damn what these Republicans say. Because if you flip it, that's what the Republicans are going to do. Like I said, who knew that you can confirm a person to a lifetime Supreme Court position in 2 weeks? Who knew? But the Republicans did it. And they did it before the election because it would have been much more difficult to do it after Donald Trump lost. That's the reason why they did it first, because they already knew it was a good chance that Donald Trump was going to lose. It would have been much worse for them, for Senate Republicans, if they had fast-tracked a Supreme Court nominee after the Republican loss. It would have been hypocrisy on top of hypocrisy. So they took the easiest route. And I say the same thing to the Democrats, man. That's where we are. To the victors, go to spoils. It is what it is. Simple as that. They don't like you, so what? That's what you tell them. So and what? So what? It is what it is. Do what you got to do. That's what I think. But what do you think? 513-873-7134. So, quote, this is Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. I'm just so happy for two things. I'm happy that we don't have to deal with Trump and Trump isn't on Facebook and Twitter. They should have blocked his ass a long time ago. The world is a better place when I don't have to get on Twitter and see this nonsense. Okay. And then secondly, we don't see as much as from the Senate, well, the former Senate Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell. I was so damn tired of looking at his face. I mean, I don't get ad hominem too much, but just aesthetically, I don't want to see that on my TV every damn day. Looking at my phone, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. It's refreshing. Whew, thank you. Thank you, Georgia voters. Thank you, Georgia. I got Georgia on my mind. Thank you. They did us all a solid. Thank you for that, Georgia. Now the Republicans down in Georgia are coming for your vote. They're coming for your vote. They're coming for that vote. They're probably going to get it too. They're probably going to get it. It is what it is, man. I'm not in Georgia. Nate, I'm going to let you finish, but Cancer is the most awesome of the zodiac. See, we about to fall out, Cass. We about to fall out. Okay. I'm not trying to ish on anybody. All of the astrological signs are unique. We'll put it that way. I'm just here to tell you that Virgos are something different. It's on another level. And I know that's hard for the other signs, for the Cancers and the Sagittarius and the Leos and the Taurus and all the Aquarius. I know it's hard for you to take, but you're going to have to take that pill. Okay? The proof is in the pudding. It is what it is. I don't set these rules up. I don't set these rules up. I deal with them. Okay? I'm going to put it just like this. 3 Virgos you got to know about. Michael Jackson was a Virgo. Need I say more? He wasn't a Cancer, Cass. He was a Virgo. Beyonce, Queen Bey, Virgo. And do I need to say any more? Michael Jackson, Nathan Ivey, and Beyonce. Do I need to say anything more? But I will. Idris Elba. I think that's over with. I think that's pretty much done. We got it. Okay? I don't have to say anything else. I'll just put it that way. Michael Jackson, Nathan Ivey, Beyonce, and Idris Elba. What else needs to be said? It is what it is. Charles writes, Virgos are chameleons. We adapt to any habitat. Charles, tell them. They don't know. They don't know. They have no idea. Ladies, the best thing you could ever do is to find you a Virgo male. It's the best thing in the world you could ever do. And listen to him. All you got to do is listen and do what they say if their mind is right. Like, if their mind's not right, then I feel for you. Because hell has no fury like a Virgo. Hell has no fury like a Virgo. Virgo woman, don't even speak it. Don't even speak it. Shh. You don't want to deal with that. Trust me. You don't want to deal with that. Crystal writes, I know August Alsina is. We have the same birthday. Not sure about Trey's tender self. I'm trying to get through this week of shows without talking about Trey Songz, who broke the internet this week. We'll leave that to the ladies to talk about. You know, I know people are trying to call into the show, and unfortunately, I'm not sure if we can take any calls, unfortunately. Let me try something here. It might work. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, man, like you talking all that nonsense.
Hey, what's up with you, Anime?
I can't call it, man. I ain't want nothing. I'm just checking, man. Checking your post, man.
Okay, appreciate you, man. So
Yeah,
what sign are you?
Stand up. Oh, yeah. And JB one, too, though. I heard you talking that Beyonce, though. But, yeah, I just want to put that out there. Jay-Z.
Who is?
Jay-Z.
JB, who's that?
Jay-Z, Beyonce husband.
Oh, Jay-Z's a Virgo too. I didn't know that.
Nah, he a Sagittarius.
Oh, he is Sagittarius. Okay, I'm sorry, man. I'm a little bit slow.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, Sagittarius is stand up. Like, we the best sign. Y'all know.
Okay. All right, man. Hey, appreciate you, man. Take it easy.
All right,
I wasn't planning on getting to it. Sounds like my phone lines are working again. Hey, Glenn, you got time? Call me back. Call me back. We working. We looking good. Yeah, I wasn't trying to get to a long-winded conversation about it because I'm never going to win that. I already know. I'm not going to win it. Nobody thinks that anybody's better than them. I get it. All I had to say, though, is Beyonce, Michael Jackson, Idris Elba, Nathan Ivey need say. I don't think we got to really say anything more about that. I'm just saying. I ain't ishing on nobody else. But Virgos are unique. They are unique. What are we talking about here? Let me go back to your chat here. Good morning. Natasha is crying. Nate's being biased. LOL, Sagittarius is still the best. Okay. All right. Nothing wrong with that. Let it be known then. Janine writes, my father, RIP, daughter, aunt, and a good friend of mine are all awesome Geminis. And Prince. That's cool. TNT writes, they better keep everything the way it is and quit playing. We all need that cash. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to give people updates because I know people are really keeping their eyes on this. I would say mid to late March, if anything, if there's going to be anything. And it looks like the Republicans or the Democrats are going to come through. They got to come through. They got to come through because if they don't, then they're not coming through on a campaign promise. And that's the worst thing that you can do. Look at Trump. Trump delivered or tried to deliver with that wacky wall. I'm going to build a wall. After 4 years, they built like 85 miles. And really, it wasn't anything new. They just kind of rebuilt some of the wall that had broken down. So we'll see. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, comrade. What's up? You better act like you know Sagittarius rule the world.
Really? Really?
Well, Virgos are cool. Also, I got a son's a Virgo.
Okay. Oh, you got a.
He
You
wild.
said your son's
He
a Virgo?
Wild, too. He wild. He's my youngest son. Yeah, he wild too.
Yeah, that sounds about right. He's got tremendous good and bad inside of him, Dad. It's up to you to bring the good out.
Yeah, he's either very, very great or he's gonna be very, very, very one-sided the other way.
Right.
Like, yeah, ain't no in between with him.
Ain't no in between with a Virgo.
Home.
It's either or.
Hey, so I just had a question. It was earlier this week. What did you think about this letter that these people signed for PG Sittenfield? Like, it's 149, some of the most prominent names of Cincinnati signing on, saying that the U.S. attorney and the FBI got this ish all wrong.
Yeah, I might sign it myself.
What do you think about that?
I might sign it myself. Actually,
are you with that? You want to be 150?
Maybe so. Yeah, I'm not against it.
Man, why do you think the feds just sit around and just play around with this type of stuff? Like they just target people like just for no reason. Like there's nothing there.
Are you saying that would be the first time the feds have ever done that?
I'm just reading. The conviction rate for the feds is over 95%.
Yeah, I mean, well, you asked me a question.
Let me. Special? What makes PG Sittenfield the exception?
Well, I mean, I'll put it to you like this. So whether it's PG or anybody else, like if you're trying to put your defense together and you can get people to sign on to it, then that's up to you. You know, I would do the same thing for Tamaya Denard. regardless of what happened, I still believe that she was good for the city. People make mistakes. With the PG Sittenfield case in particular,
but she played out though.
She did plead out.
Let's be fair.
She did plead out, but I still
So,
support
like,
that sister, and I would vote for her again. I would vote for her
and
again.
that's cool.
I think she was good for the city, and I think she just got into and made a bad decision, which she admitted to herself. But I still support her overall goodness and the fact that I think she was a positive force for our community and for black folks on city council. I think her not being on city council pushes the city back, especially in terms of the black community. That's just me. Even though I think she made a mistake and she's gonna have to deal with that.
Right.
It is what it is.
So you could, it's fair to say that she did harm to the black community with her behavior.
Did harm?
To the
No,
black
I'm not
community.
saying that.
I mean, she owned it. So, well, you just said that harm was done to the black community with her not being there. Didn't she do that to herself? Didn't she do that to us?
Yeah.
As Cincinnatians?
Yeah, she did. Ultimately, it was a self-inflicted wound. So yeah, in that way, you're right. She did do that to herself.
Right.
She's the reason why she's not on city
to.
council right now. Right.
Right. That ain't got nothing to do with nobody other than herself.
True.
You know, and it's the same thing with PG. And I'm focused on PG because he's the one I hear yelling the loudest about I'm innocent. And this is just pure, from my perspective, him trying to save his mayoral candidacy. That's all this is. It's straight politics. And these people who are on this list are big supporters of PG who are probably financially invested in his political success.
Well,
so,
I mean, at this point,
to try to preserve his face, you know. So it's like, to me, it's like now we want to try to make it seem like the feds are just straight targeting PG Sittenfield because he's PG Sittenfield. And he's targeting 50 people no more than the feds do. I find it offensive.
well, like I said, I mean, you know, if he can get 150 or 2,000 people, if anybody can, to sign on to be a part of his public defense strategy, then good for him. When I look at the case, I still have question marks as to exactly what law that he broke. I think it's sketchy. That's just my opinion about it. I think the case against him is a little bit sketchy and it's a bit more gray than what some of the headlines and what people are saying about that. Again, I'm no lawyer, so I don't have that expertise to bring to it. There's people out there with far more expertise than me. But in my opinion, when I look at it, it seems a bit weak, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, so, I mean, they have his own words on tape, so it's going to be interesting.
But you have a law degree. Do you think?
I do.
Do you think that the case against him is strong, medium, or a little bit soft?
I think it's medium.
Okay. So we both agree it ain't no ironclad case. And so I think that's the reason why.
You don't know what juries, you can't predict what juries are going to do. I mean, you can't predict outcomes. You know, you evaluate for what it is. I think there's something there. I think this is definitely going to be a trial. He ain't pleading out. He's trying to line up his minions behind him, you know, and that's his right, you know. He's innocent until proven guilty, right? So he's entitled to a trial. Just from my perspective on it, it's one of those scenarios where he's talking like he's got his own words saying, I can move the most votes on council. You know, like you start talking in those terms about what you can do, and then you're taking the checks yourself, and you know you're supposed to be not in control of an account that you're putting the money into, and you're financing the whole Democratic machine statewide. I mean, this is, and I've been reading up on Cincinnati history. George Barnesdale Cox, they called him the boss. He is doing boss Cox stuff between the text messaging, organizing a majority of council in the dark, then financing the whole Democratic machine. David Pepper, as the Ohio Democratic Party chairman, was taking money from Progress and Growth. How the hell does one politician finance the state party and the local party and the whole majority of this city council group running with illegal, dirty money? You know what I mean? That's the whole point of where it's medium, because those are the stone cold facts. Where he might get off is he's trying to line up and poison the jury pool by doing stuff like what he's doing, and that might work. So we're going to see. But
can you walk me through this then?
Need to read up on the history. I'm sorry.
Can you walk me through this then? Because I'm glad you brought this up, because we should have this conversation. But can you walk this through me? Because you said a whole lot of things, and I just don't remember. But what is the crime exactly? Where is the crime? Right. So you think it's a medium case. What law did he break? I'm not saying he didn't break any laws. I'm trying to pick your brain and get your knowledge.
Sure. Well, if you give me a moment, we can go through the indictment. You should bring up the indictment. I know it's public record. You can find his indictment, but off the top of my head, I believe it was bribery was involved, attempted extortion, and I don't remember everything else. I know those are the two main ones that are the biggest one. Although seven counts is big, but yeah, the two that stick out is the attempted extortion and the bribery.
So I just pulled up an article. It reads, P.G. Sittenfeld asks judge to throw out federal corruption charges. And apparently the lawyers for Sittenfeld filed a motion to dismiss the case. That was going back to last year. And 2 counts of honest services wire fraud.
Yeah, wire fraud. Yeah, because you deposit the money.
Bribery and attempted extortion by a government official. I mean, again, I'm no lawyer, but when I think back to what I remember, and again, maybe to really have this conversation, I need to refresh it a little bit. It just seemed like there was some gray area there. And maybe that was because Sittenfeld was purposely, in the way that he was talking about it, he was doing it in a way so if he got caught, there would be gray area. I don't know. People can speculate. That would make sense.
If you're involved, you're going to try to do that type of stuff. So
absolutely,
he's trying to walk a tightrope.
Absolutely,
But the reality is, when he starts talking about he can move votes, and like you're betting on the winning team. When this is the words he's using. You're betting on the winning team. I can move votes. Like it's like you can say something without saying something, Nathan, and then you take the money and you go deposit it, and then you finance the whole Democratic Party. And you're basically running point for the whole state Democratic Party because you're financing this stuff,
right?
Because you're talking about how you can move votes and how you're betting on the winning team. Yeah, I'm sure it's the winning team because he's financing the whole damn party. That's why he can get 150 folks to sign up and say, yeah, we got his back. He was financing David Pepper's state party as a Democrat. He was financing the local Democratic Party. He was financing a majority of people running for council. He financed all types of countywide races with this money that he was getting from the feds when he got busted doing the attempted bribery and extortion stuff. And the honest services wire fraud. That's what I'm saying. You ain't supposed to be getting no other money going to your campaign in exchange for favorable acts, period. Okay. Well, or in your pocket.
I hear you, man.
You can't say favorable acts. You can't do it. So for people are just trying to ignore this stuff as a Democrat because he finances the whole damn party. And that's why people are just like, no, PG's not guilty. Man, y'all better look at the facts. He's trying to poison the jury pool. I'm looking at this a mile away.
Well, is that what the people who signed the letter said, that he wasn't guilty? Is that what the letter says, that they weren't guilty?
Letter.
Okay.
Read the letter.
I don't remember.
Read the letter.
I did read the letter, but I don't remember it. I don't remember every detail about it. All I'm saying is, as I read the indictment twice, in my opinion, I think the case is far from a slam dunk. I'll put it that way. I don't think it's a slam dunk. I think there's some gray area in there, especially when you start talking about, can you have a PAC? And I mean, I've talked to some folks that's very close to the situation, but not a part of Sittenfeld's camp, but they're a part of the local political scene. And these are people who have far more experience than me. And they're like, well, this is what politicians do. If he's guilty of that, then all the politicians are guilty. I don't know. I'm not an elected official, but I stand by what I said, though.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think he could be the mayor even with this going on?
No, I do not. No, I do not. The only way I think that PG Sittenfeld could still successfully run for mayor and win, especially with AFTAP Pureval being in it, is there would have to be some kind of evidence, and I'm not even sure this will work, but there'd have to be some kind of evidence that comes out that clearly shows that the FBI's case against him was personally and politically motivated. Clearly smoking gun type of evidence that shows that, there were forces out there that were trying to stop his political rise. Now, if you get some evidence like that, I think that would engender sympathy and he could run on it. But I think it's got to be clear cut. That's the only way I think he would have a chance of running for mayor and winning. Because if not, what I think will happen, let's say he beats this. Let's say the case is dismissed or they bust it down to something smaller. What I think could happen is that you could have people in the community, primarily the black electorate, that will resent him. they'll look at him like, well, look at what happened to the black folks. Oh, you only got off because you're a white dude, because you're affluent, because you're connected. And I think that would hold that against him in any election. That's just my thoughts. I don't have to be right. I don't have to be wrong.
Disagree with that. No, I don't disagree with that. I think they'll look at that situation like, yeah, everything that's happened to the black folks and the white guy has to walk out. He all of a sudden has gray area. People start excusing the behavior. For the white guy, then it becomes problematic. But, Aftab's not 100% clean, too. He had that situation where, his people was commingling money with, the federal election and the county election.
Oh, that was nothing.
I think that might come back up.
I'm sure it is. But it was nothing.
It's.
I think it was a campaign violation, obviously, because they got all these little rules. But I mean, his mother gave him some money when he was running for, what was it, clerk or something like that, wasn't it? And then he has some money left over, and he applied that for when he was running against Shabbat, and that goes against Ohio election laws. You can get contributions running for Congress, and if you got money left over, you can use that to run in Hamilton County for the clerk, but you can't do it the other way around. That's small potatoes, in my opinion. But you're right. I think his opponents, people, whatever, will try to bring that up.
Hey, let me ask you this though: what is Aftab's? Do you know what his religious affiliation is? I'm just curious.
His political affiliation?
No, religious affiliation.
His religious affiliation? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
I don't know.
Because in Cincinnati, connecting with the black church is very, very important.
Well, you can still connect with the black church, but not be a Baptist.
Oh, no, I'm not saying Baptist. I'm just saying in terms of connecting with everyday Cincinnatians. A lot of black Cincinnatians are people with faith. I'm just curious, what his faith is. I'm just not sure.
Would it matter to you that much as a voter? Let's say he's an atheist. Let's say he's an atheist. Would that make a difference to you?
If he's an atheist, would it make a difference? No, it would just inform me on whether I want to support him or not. It'll give me information versus everybody else in the field. I think, when you run for mayor, a lot of people didn't know a lot about you. I think, Brandy's Catholic, I believe.
Yeah. It's funny, man, 'cause I talked to him and plan on talking with him again during the primary race, but I never even considered asking him about his religious affiliation. For whatever reason, it just didn't dawn on me to even ask him that.
Well, it just seems like to me that, the African American church here in Cincinnati is, a very heavy voting block. I was just, as one of those people, who's an African American in Cincinnati, who's a person of faith. I just like to know what he believes.
Yeah, I mean, you can hit him on Twitter and see if he responds to that. He might. I'm not sure. I'm asking myself, does it matter? Anymore. Like, if he's not like a Satanist or something like that, I'm cool. I mean, I don't really care what his religious beliefs is.
Right. I'm just curious, man. I mean, it's not necessarily to be like, oh, I can't go because he's like this. I'm just curious.
No, I think your curiosity is fair. There's nothing wrong with that. But back to PG Sinfield though. So, I want to make sure I fully, answer your question on that. So for me, when I remember looking back, I just thought like there was some gray area here. I think there was some gray area in terms of, can you operate a PAC? I think there was some gray area in terms of, was it quid pro quo? And can they prove that? Does it look bad? Sure it does, for sure. But just because something looks a certain way doesn't mean that it is a certain way. And then, if Trump got a right, this is how I look at it. If Trump got a right to explore every legal avenue, like Mitch McConnell said, even though he was coming up with baseless facts and making up shit, then Sinfield got a right to do whatever he got to do to put together his own defense. That's how I look at it.
Hey, that's no problem. Hey, what hospital did Aftab go to?
In terms of what hospital?
Where you go to hospital? Yeah, what hospital? You know what hospital you went to?
Went to for what?
For his hospital diploma.
You said what high school did he go to?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think that Aftab was born in Cincinnati. I think he was born somewhere else in Ohio, like up north somewhere. I can't remember exactly. He wasn't.
He not even from
He wasn't born in Cincinnati, should I say? I think he was born somewhere else.
Okay, he's
Pretty
not
sure
he's
about
not from
that.
Cincinnati. Okay, got you.
Yeah, he's not born in
Okay.
Cincinnati. He's been here for some time, but he was born somewhere else in Ohio, if I remember correctly.
Got you. Yeah, but that PG Sinfield case is going to be child of the century. You ain't gonna never see nothing like this.
Oh, I can't wait for it. You know, I'm all about the drama. I'm gonna grab some popcorn. I might stream live. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But I will say, I say this 100%. I think that PG was good for the city, and I think he would have did good things for the city and for Black folks if he became mayor. I 100% believe that, no doubt about it.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. That's, you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
I just look at his tenure as, at this point, scandal ridden, and this is the culmination of it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't
we'll
disagree with what you said.
Right.
I cannot disagree with that, brother. So let me look at this some more, though. I mean, let's make sure we get. Okay, here's the indictment right here. I don't have time to read through it. I put up an article here.
Yeah. Just check it out. Maybe get some more into it. But like on the right side, it should just be like just the counts. So like that's what I was more. We ain't got to read the whole thing, but just what he was. I think it was like 7 counts or something like that he was charged with. And like if you go through it, like there's moments where he's quoted.
Right. I know there's been some back and forth between the Sittenfield legal team and the federal prosecutors, about how much of his comments the federal prosecutors put out there, what they actually meant. I agree with you. It seems like the Sittenfield team is putting this in the public because they're trying to appeal to the public 100%. I mean, I can't doubt that. Can't refute that. But it'll be interesting to see. I think that every case is different. So some people are going to look at this and say, well, oh, look at what PG's doing. That's different from that. Matter of fact, I was with a we'll say local reporter this past week, and we were talking about this case. And they were talking about this person was talking about what's his name? Christopher Smitherman. And they were like, yeah, Christopher Smitherman is down the dial. So apparently Christopher Smitherman did some interviews down the dial this week. I didn't get a chance to hear him. And this person was telling me what they heard. And what they said they heard was that Sittenfield, along with Willie Cunningham, I think he was on that show, they were trying to say that the local media was treating PG Sittenfield differently. And I think specifically what came up was that, why didn't we see a perp walk from PG Sittenfield? Did you hear any of the interview? Did that come up?
I didn't hear any of the interview.
Okay,
but
maybe
I'm interested to hear more about that. I didn't hear that particular one.
Yeah, maybe somebody can corroborate it in the audience. But apparently that conversation came up on the Willie Cunningham show, and Christopher Smither was there, and it was kind of like, well, why do we see a perp walk from Tamaya? And why we see a perp walk from Jeff Pastor, but we didn't see a perp walk from PG Sittenfield? Ironically, I was with someone who was on the scene that day, early this week. And this person told me that the media tried to get, images of Sittenfield leaving the courthouse, but he went I guess his lawyers took him out a back door or a side door, and so they missed the opportunity. But the way it was being put out there on this show and the way it was told to me was as if the media, like the local media, was somehow just being biased in their reporting. But see, I only bring this up because there's a big difference between people's perceptions and the facts. As I was told, local media was trying to get that photograph, but the Sittenfield camp, his lawyer, whatever, outsmarted them, outmaneuvered them, or whatever you want to call it, went out a side door, and so they missed that opportunity. It wasn't for the lack of trying. So I'm just saying we need to be careful when you hear people just putting things out there in this case, and they want to make it a black and white thing because it benefits them. But in that scenario, it seems like it was just an execution thing.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. I'm gonna go back and find it because I'm interested in hearing about that. I will say though, if you listen to even that situation, the privilege and him being able to go out the attorney door, because they got special doors that go in and out, employee doors. The privilege of PG Sittenfield able to use the employee exit and entrance. He don't even work there. That's the only way he'll be able to get up out of there without the perp walk. So I didn't hear the interview. I do know the fact that that's white privilege dripping, because the black folks had to come out the front door. He got to go out the employee door. Imagine that. See, that's the type of stuff where he want to run for mayor. He want to go through, people see that. He got through the side door because he doesn't work there as an employee, but he gets to have that access. People, they don't want to hear that. It's white privilege.
That's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is, you can't blame Sittenfield because his team is on top of things and paying attention to things and taking opportunities, right? It's like, oh, we got a chance to skip the perp walk. We're going to go this way. I'm not going to blame somebody because they do that. I mean, be smarter next time. You got to be faster next time. I don't know if that's privilege or just being smarter in the moment. I don't think that's anybody's fault per se. But again, I think when you've got money, then you can afford to get a top-notch team and things like that. So yeah, I think there's some privilege involved in that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, money talks.
And it makes shit happen.
Absolutely. Believe that.
Anything else, brother?
Oh man, that's it. Have a great weekend. I'm waiting for the Super Bowl though. I know you might not be ready to watch it. I am ready to watch it because there's a passing of the torch that might happen.
Are you? I'm just. I feel the same way I did last year. Last year, it was just something that was on. I really wasn't super into it. I think we were playing some games with the family. We'll probably do the same thing this year. It'll be on, but we won't be doing anything different. It won't be nothing special. I won't be cooking anything special or anything like that. It'll just be something on TV.
Yeah, I understand. Just I feel like it's like watching the Michael Jordan of football. And when you see Tom Brady, it's like he's owning the mistakes. He has no weakness. So
I think it'll be a good game though.
Moving around. Yeah, it should be a good game. Patrick Mahomes is the man, and Kansas City's tight. And Buccaneers is just the treatment. First team ever to play at home in the Super Bowl after 55 years, and who get to do it? Tom Brady. It's going to be, hey, I want to keep like a watch it. I need some entertainment on TV.
I'm trying to figure out, do I have a dog in the race? I mean, searching my feelings now in this conversation, I want to see Antonio Brown win another Super Bowl. That'd be dope. I like AB.
Yeah.
I like AB with his crazy self.
They try to tear that man's career down.
Mm-hmm. They sure did. So for just that reason, I want to see the brother win another championship. That'll be dope. Other than that, I mean, you got the Travis Kelce, University of Cincinnati connection. So, I want to see the Bearcats do well. So we'll see. Hopefully it's an exciting game, a close game deep into the fourth quarter. It'll be a lot of fun for people so we can have a departure from COVID and all these other life problems. That's it.
Yeah, it's COVID. Yeah, COVID crazy.
All right, brother. Thank you for the call, man.
Be safe out here.
Yeah, that's Black Russia with the Invasion with Black Russia podcast. And you'll hear it this weekend. Look for it on our Facebook page. Invasion. Yeah, it's going to be dope because Black Russia don't give a damn. And what I like about him is he's got his own unique take. I'll say it again. You do not have to be. My politics are my politics. All I'm looking for are talented creators and creatives. Your politics are your politics. You know what I'm saying? As long as you can back up what you're saying, and are you willing to personally deal with the consequences of what you say? And you doing your own research? I'm looking for, if you're a black conservative, I love it. You could be a black Trumpster. As long as you can explain what you have to say, and you're talking about facts and your opinion, your researched opinion, and you're a creator or creative person, I would love to work with you. We need to amplify all the voices, not just ones that may have like a progressive slant, such as myself. But let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nate. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, brother. Welcome.
Let me ask you a question, Nate. Because you've interviewed hundreds of people, maybe close to 1,000 people in your radio lifetime. You ever interviewed David Mann? Or talk to him?
No,
on the side?
I've never interviewed David Mann. I want to, though.
Well, name a city council person that you have talked to on the current city council right now. Have you talked to Jan Michelle Kearney, like on the side, like, just talking about whatever?
I have had a little bit of conversation with Jan Michelle Kearney since, really was high and by. So no, I really haven't had any conversation with her. I've talked with Silbach here on the show. We just talked to Greg Landsman last week.
Right.
I think that's Wendell Young. Talked to Wendell Young. And a matter of fact, I need to circle back around and get him back on the show. He gave me a call recently. He wants to come on. I want to talk with Smitherman, but haven't been able to get him or his team to respond to any of my requests. But what's your point, though?
Oh, he's not going to show up. The CDM interview, he couldn't handle that. He going to Fox instead of coming to CDM or MSNBC. My point is, Nate, At no time when you talk to these people did you say, you know what, damn, I wonder if Wendell is a Muslim. I wonder if Jan Michelle is an atheist. You see how they tried to play that with those questions, Nate? You see how Republicans, and this is what kills me, more specifically, black conservatives are willing to go out there and play the other card. That's what was happening. I wonder what Aftab's religion is. I wonder where he was born. Oh, would you want to see his birth certificate? Am I lying to fly, Nate? Did you feel that too?
Birtherism against Aftab? Oh, please no.
Against
Please, no.
Aftab Purival, because you know what? And the reason why they do it, because in some of their little circles, Nate, it works. Yesterday on the Politically Petty podcast, I called out black conservatives. And I used the background music of BDP and Love's Gonna Get You. Think about it. Because the essence of that song is about power and material things and how love's gonna get you. And how Trump got black conservatives and Republican Party. Now look at you. What the song say? Let us move on. Hell no. But what you saw right there was a direct example of a black dude trying to play the other card. And then his little affiliate that called in earlier that all of a sudden is like, well, you know, we got to have respect for Tamaya Denard and why these are the same people that made an avatar of Tanaya 6'9", didn't they, Nate? Am I lying or flying? That was his boy. I mean, they all part of the little Gilligan crew. I mean, just like Grob, what is Black Mad Democrat? Like I said, I call him Bag, B-A-G. Black and Goofy, Black and Gilligan, whatever it is. I mean, let's go back to when I originally called in earlier and you were talking about the Republican Party. Nate, I'm not surprised by any of this. I didn't know they was going to go full ham on the Capitol like that because you know what? The last time anything like that happened, it was like in 1817. But it did happen. I mean, I'm looking at MSNBC right now. They got Ben Sass from Nebraska, an actual damn Republican, and they're trying to censure him because he had the temerity to say, oh, yeah, Donald Trump messed up, and his people actually, you know, killed some people, beat a police officer with an American flag and a back to blue flag. Talk about the irony of that. And then you talked about the voting restrictions, Nate, happening in every Republican legislation, not Democrats. You know, what they saw in Georgia, and I think it was Durrell or someone else that brought up about Mississippi, is that the black populace in those southern states, man, they all, whatever, you know, Stacey Abrams is like, you know, she's like the oracle. They all see now. Like, all we got to do is get those people that were disenfranchised, you know, uninterested. And Donald Trump brought to the forefront just how important it is to vote. Like, I was getting clowned for how many years? Talking about, we need to get our vote. Oh, Glenn, man, you in the white man system, you know, we ain't trying to do all that. They ain't never did. You see how close we were to them taking your vote away, folks? They was going to disenfranchise 18 to 20 million votes in 4 particular states. The irony is those 4 states, they're going against their own people that were Republican legislators just to steal the vote for Donald Trump. He's like a damn Jim Jones, babe. I mean, I still don't get it. And it's frustrating as hell when I talk to these fools because I'm like, you people are serious. And let me get to another point. I actually heard every bit of the Smitherman interview. Oh, yeah. Because, you know, they threw out the promo out there. Oh, we got the vice mayor coming on. You know, it was like, Deja Girl, come get your nigga lessons. He's coming on, folks. You know, here come the black guy. He's a freaking Tim Scott. Tim Scott of Barnhill, Avondale. Yeah, they throw him out there. And then the first thing he did, of course, he brought up the punk-ass text messages. They still talking about that. Still, I want everybody out there to know just how embarrassed I was. Well, you've been embarrassed for a long time, dude. I mean, really. It's text messages. And then Grayson tried to pull that out. Oh, you know, they were doing undercover government work, sending freaking emojis to each other. Come on, dude.
Right.
I mean, really. Remember? They act like that was like the worst thing. Oh, they should be in a guillotine and, you know, freaking, you know, quartered or something. I mean, it just kills me, man. I'm telling you, I wish that I could vote in Cincinnati politics, Nate. I'm excited about what's coming up next with the city council and all the available seats that are open. I'm excited about who's going to run for mayor. You've been saying it like for a long time. I've been saying it for a long time. We got the wind at our back. You got to push this out there. I don't think people are going to let them slide. More specifically, the Democrats, because we know the Republicans, they're just done. They're just done. And if Democrats, if we got to get out those, wishy-washy, Democrats like that, we got Joe Manchin in Cincinnati too. It's a little small one. His name is John Cranley. He just like that one. Am I lying or flying, Nate?
Hey, let me ask you a quick question, man. So you heard the whole interview with Smitherman?
Yes.
Okay, so did it come up that Smitherman and or Willie make a point like, well, why didn't we see a perp walk from PG Sittenfield? We saw it from Maya Denard and Jeff Passer. Was that brought up?
Nate, Willie led him into it. I'm going to be complete. He led him right into it. Like, hey, again, this is your N-word lesson to his audience. Reaffirm what I said. That's what he did. So Willie says, well, I talked to a prominent black leader. So, I'm like, okay, that's specs for one thing, like talking to him anyway. And he told me that in the community, they're talking about how, Tamaya Denard and Jeff Pastor were able to, be perp walked out. And then he made a comment about, Tamaya was looking pretty rough and all that stuff. And Smitherman didn't say anything. And then he goes on, like I said, he talked about how I talked to a prominent black leader and they're saying, what is this? And this is double standard. And is this white privilege? And then Smitherman affirmed everything and it went right along with it. And I think he even tried to play the, in the community. No, yeah, more specifically, he did try to say, yeah, that's the word in the black community. And the first thing that came to my mind was like, you don't even talk to the black community. What the hell is that? I mean, really?
Right.
Like, that was the first thing that came to my mind. Like, really? He did. So, yeah, I heard everything. And I'm going to tell it. You talk about 6'9". Yeah, I'm everything. And he played right along with it, just like you thought he would, Nate. I mean, it's a stereotype. So just whatever you thought he might have said on the station, not only did I confirm it, but he did exactly that. Hey, brother, I appreciate you taking my call, man. Like we say on the Politically Petty podcast show, hopefully in the end you getting what I'm spending. I'm out, Nate. Appreciate it.
Appreciate the call, man. Politically Petty coming soon. Want to remind you about some upcoming podcasts. Got the Melanin Insights podcast hosted by Britt and Cass. That's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of dope Melanin Insights hosted by two sisters. Looking forward to that. Also, Tiffany Daniels, her last podcast, her first podcast, should I say, with Sin Digital Media was on Monday, and I thought it was a great stream. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Her guest was Patrice Campbell, and Patrice helps people make a living while living on purpose. And there's a link to her website in that stream. You should check it out on our CDM page. And also go look for Tiffany on Facebook and follow her as well, Community Connector. And people say, well, Nate, we need a podcast that talks about wealth building. Well, you got it. Tiffany was already doing good work. I just want to help amplify what she's already doing. I think it's a great podcast. She talks about cryptocurrency. She talks about Forex. She talks about all of the various ways in which people are building wealth. She talks about real estate on her podcast. She talks with people that are motivators and inspiring people through their work. And that sounds like something you might be interested in. Make sure you check her out. It'll be on Mondays. And she doesn't do it every Monday. Typically, she has a guest. Her podcasts are typically like 30 minutes, 45 minutes at the latest. But again, you can find it on our Facebook page on CDMS right now. Check it out. All right. And much more. You got the Politically Petty podcast coming from Glenn. We're working on that behind the scenes. Invasion podcast. Scusted podcast. Like I said, I reach out to the people that I know. My arms are only too short, only so long. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to reach out to the people that are within my reach, right? And that's the people that support me. I want to see who those talented and creative people are. And so I'll say it again. If you are a creator or a creative person, perhaps we can work together. Perhaps we can build something dope together. If you are an audio editor, I'm looking for audio editors. I'm looking for video editors. If you're super dope in any of those fields, I love to work with you. I'm looking for graphic artists. If you're a graphic artist in any way, You're super dope with Photoshop or Illustrator. I'd love to talk with you. And of course, if you're an entrepreneur with a service or a product and you're looking for creative ways to connect with your audience or to create an audience, I've got a few ideas. Also, if you're interested in any placement in terms of sponsorships with this show or any shows, you can hit me with DM. I'll respond with you ASAP. All right. I want to put the word out there. So people know. All right. One thing before we roll out of here this morning. Let's take the call first, and then we'll do the word from our sponsor, and then we'll make a move. It'll probably be about 10 a.m. at that point. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nathan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, brother Fame. Come on. What's going on? I mean, welcome. Come on in.
I did not mean to interrupt everybody from getting the Wellborn experience. So I'll be short. Because you brought up some really wicked stuff the other day, bringing up old shit, talking about that police officer that tased that thief, that little thieving ass sixth grader who was dared by a fourth grader. But you don't want to talk about that. That's cool though. Listen, I just wanted to say Sunday there's a really important athletic contest going on between a team from Tampa Bay and a team from Kansas City. And while you might want to root for the team from Kansas City, just remember, you're not watching an athletic contest. You're watching a TV show. The better story is not the black quarterback who won back-to-back Super Bowls. It's the legendary quarterback who left one team, and they said he was a system quarterback, and now he took another team to the championship and the first to do it in his own home stadium. That's all I want to remind people. Tampa Bay will win this game 38-34. You're not watching an athletic contest. It's a TV show. That's all I got, B. Take it easy. Oh!
That was a nice throaty howl. I can feel the soul in that. Okay, appreciate you, brother. Hashtag disgusted. All right. Well, he said it, man. It's time for that Wellborn experience. And if you're looking for a rental property, you're looking for a dream home, you're looking for maybe a commercial property, I know someone who can be of assistance. That's Team Wellborn. You can contact them at thewellbornexperience.com or teamwellborn@gmail.com.
It's that Wellborn experience. It's that Wellborn experience. The Wellborn experience. 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 It's that Wellborn experience. Yeah, the Wellborn experience. Yeah, that Wellborn experience. Experience. Tell us what you need. That's the question we start with. We specialize selling condos, houses, apartments. Make sure that you happy with your residence. Keep it real, no filter. Otis, the realtor from the nattiest heaven sent. It's the Wellborn experience. Ain't nothing like it. Every time he talk to his client, he's so excited just knowing he able to put them in a place to lay their head. Not focusing on his profits, but on the client instead. Right. He keeps it so professional and from his conversation. You can tell he studies before sharing information. Educated, motivated, ain't nobody better. Who's willing to walk you through every step to relieve the pressure? Yeah, and just so you know it's real, you get a special personalized rug once he closes the deal. So go on, call him up so he can get you live. 513-252-1055.
Again, that's 513-252-1055. Again, 513-252-1055. And there is a link in today's description. You can check it out for yourself. And when you do, please make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Nathan Ivey Show. It's very, very important. All right. Appreciate you in advance. And I know they're going to take care of you. We got a chance to talk with Otis early this week. And then I got a chance to converse with him. He was like, man, there was some things that I forgot to put out there. And I'm like, we can bring you back on, bro. Let's make it a semi-regular part of the show. I'm down. But I mean, just a list of accomplishments, a list of superlatives that Otis has amassed as a part of his resume since he's been doing this. Like I said, he said he was in law enforcement here in the city, got out of that, got into something different, and has been doing this thing. We'll put it that way since then. So I wish the brother the best, and I wish you the best. If you're looking for a dream home or you're looking for a commercial property, again, contact thewellburnexperience.com or teamwellburn@gmail.com, or you can simply call them at 513-252-1055. Real simple. All right. It's 10 a.m., man. Damn it. Give you a heads up. No Is It Just Me podcast today. Donnie B is dealing with some very serious matters with her family, and she will not be broadcasting this week. We're planning to do it next Friday. Okay, so lift her and her family up in your prayers. Send her some positive messages and some positive vibes. All right. And I miss it too. It just became a part of my Friday, where I sit back and just hear the flows from the Is It Just Me podcast. But we're just getting started. Next week, we're going to unveil something. I want to make Black history. I want to make local Black history during Black History Month. And I need your help. Some already know about our upcoming plans. Many do not. But I'll share with you next week. To my patrons, you'll get the word first. Let's make Black history during Black History Month. I'll leave it like that. All right. Have an excellent rest of your day, family. Have an excellent weekend. Stay COVID free. All right. Keep your immune system up. Stay warm out there. Keep the mask up. And we'll talk real soon. All right. I'm Nathan Ivy. Until next time, I'm out.